How's it going, everybody? It's Shared Ride Yu-Gi-Oh! Back at it again in my bedroom floor. No fancy intro for today. I'm planning on just doing a little of a insight, just so that guys know what I'm really planning for Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. And right now we're gonna do a collection sharing. So I'm gonna show you my entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection, consisting of what I have in this binder, and actually all my decks. So yeah, that's about it, actually. Let's just get right into it, Starting off with the front page, this is what I really wanted to make, like, the archetype, or, like, the engine stuff, cards that I have that, like, synergize with each other. We have two Fusion Shaddolls, El Shaddol Wendigo and Winda. I actually got these from a very old Megaton, I believe, 2015. Winda's pretty valuable, but I'm not sure about Wendigo. Shaddol Hedgehog, which is the best Shaddol, so I'm really lucky I got it. And Nefe, which is a secret rare Shaddol equip. So, that's okay. Next up, we have a Blue Eyes engine. This guy does not really count, but he does help out in generic, dragon support. We got Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Dragon Spirit of White. The Whitestone Agents. Dragon Ravine. Where Art Thou? 2 copies of the Vanilla Blue Eyes, and Keeper of the Shrine. So that's pretty simple. Moving on to the Ancient Gear engine, which is what I really think is probably going to be what most people are going to be focusing on in my trade binder. 2 Ancient Gear Golems, 2 Ancient Gear boxes, 1 Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, just an easy 3K special summon off of Gear Town if you're locked from your extra. Ancient Gear Gadget, which is not really useful in Ancient Gear or Gadget decks, but sometimes people use it in Gadgetron builds. Wyvern, which is actually a very useful card because it searches out the entirety of the archetype, except for Gear Town, which is really cool. So, people are going to want this. It's like $8 currently on YGO Pro. Or, you know what I mean, online. Ancient Gear Hydra, not really that useful, but, sometimes it's good with Ancient Gear Gadget. Then we got Ancient Gear Catapult, and its respective token in this sleeve here. Really good card, basically pops your Gear Town or your Fortress to get you free specials. Gear Town, which, when destroyed, special summons a Ancient Gear monster from hand, deck, or grave. Then finally, Ancient Gear Fortress, which protects all your monsters, and if it's destroyed, special summons from hand or graveyard. So that's really good. Then we got the Salamangreat engine. 2 Salamangreat Gazelles, 1 Jack Jaguar, 1 Foul, 1 Sanctuary, 2 Heat Leo, and 1 Aurora. And then we also got Balancer Lord in here with a couple of Mathmech cards like Nabla and Equation. Don't really fit the theming, but they are Cybers monsters, so, whatever. Circle, which is basically a Rhoda for the deck. And then we got the final Link monster, Balinx, which enables you to search the field spell. Then we got general good stuff here, which I'm considering trading for people that give the right price. We got Solemn Strike and Monster Reborn. Moving on to the Yosenju engine. We don't have all the Yosenju cards because I only got this from Wave 2 of Yosenju support, but we got some pretty good ones. Yosenju Inza and Yosenju Sabu. Inza's basically a searcher. Sabu, nobody really cares about him. When we got the big, Pendulum monster, Myosenju Hitot. I'm sure I said that wrong, but it's pretty good for Pendulum Yosenjus. Yosenju Channeling, which searches out your Pendulum monsters. Wind Worship, which is a quick play. And Sword Sting, which actually can destroy a whole bunch of cards on the field. Then we got a Tenyi engine here. The worm monsters which focus on non-effects. Tenyi Spirit Vishuddha and Tenyi Spirit the Synchro, which I'm not saying that name because it's really difficult to say. They're pretty good. This guy's like $5 and this person's like $3. So, good trades. Then we got Break Off Trap Hole, which is really good for Link monsters, and Rivalry of Warlords, which is good for zombie decks, which I do have a couple of zombie engines in this, so, people would like this. Excuse me. Marincess cards, we got 2 Wonder Hearts and 1 Sea Angel. Not really the full thing, but a couple of cards that people might want to get. This is kind of the boss monster. Marincess Battle Ocean, which helps out for the OTK, and Marincess Current, which is a really good trap card. Then we got the leftover Prank Kids engine here. Don't have the monsters, or at least I can't fit them inside, but we do have the extra deck monsters and a couple of the spells traps and some things that support it. Battle Butler, of course, he's all sleeved up. Then we got Rocket Ride, Battlebark, and Weather Washer. They all have, there's both, there for all of them there's two copies of them in this binder, because they're not exactly as like rare as things like Dodal or Battle Butler or the Rip-Roaring Roaster. Then we got Prankid's Pandemonium, Prankid's Plan, the two spells and traps that really help out with spamming during your opponent's turn, fusions and links respectively. And then we got an interesting thing, Frightmare Patchwork, which actually searches out edge-imps and polymerizations, which is really useful for certain decks, because edge-imp can then search out fusion spell cards or polymerization cards, which includes Super Poly, so that's really good. Or search out another copy of itself, so you know. Then we got Dream Mirror stuff. We got Darky Kalos and Light Morpheus. Dream Mirror of Terror, which burns. Dream Mirror of Joy, which protects or forces your opponent to attack monsters with a higher attack. Once again, not a very good archetype, by the way. Dream Mirror Fantasy, which gives one of the few interesting ways of removal by shuffling back in field spells and then banishing a card in the field. And then a Terraforming, just to start the whole chain together. We got Voltester, which is kind of an interesting tech choice. You could special summon to your opponent's linked monsters, and everything that's co-linked to the monster that is pointing at Voltester will be destroyed. So, you know, that's really good. But it doesn't have any way to special summon itself, so that kind of sucks. And then goes a match for those decks that have, like, one attribute, and that's it. Then we got the first zombie engine that we have here, the Maikashis. Hajun, Daki, which is basically the 2-card combo of the deck. We got 2 Hajun and 1 Daki up for trade. Then we got Ouroboros, which is the wheeled Maikashi Synchro. Wing Maikashi Synchro, and then Graceful Maikashi Synchro. Then we got Yuki-Onna, which is the Ice Maikashi Link monster, which is kind of protects your monsters and enables you to special summon out the big skeletal guy, the Skeletal Maikashi Synchro. That's level 11, I believe. Then we got Book of Lives, 2 of them, and 2 Maikashi Returns. You know, this is a really good card because it enables you to mill or add back to hand. Then we got Shafu here, which is kind of just hanging out. Kind of a side deck choice, or maybe like one of in the main deck, because usually you want to get out Hajun because he special summons out more. Because Hajun special summons from the deck, hand, or grave. So, you know. Then we got DM engine here. I really hate Dark Magician, I'm going to be honest, but, you know, I can see why some people are appealed to it. We got 2 Dark Magician Vanillas, 1 Dark Magician Girl, which isn't run in the deck, but whatever. 2 Magician's Robes, kind of sucks that they don't have Rod, but whatever. Dark Renewal, and under it, we actually do have, let's see if I can find it, an interesting tech choice for field spells, Secret Village of the Spellcasters, which negates, which makes it so that if you control a spellcaster, your opponent cannot use spell drops. Sorry, just spells. I'm rambling a little bit. Apologies. 1 Dark Magic Attack, which is search roll from Eternal Soul. And we got a little Altergeist build. In case you don't know, in the new ban list, it's been announced that Multifaker is going back to 3. So, you know, that's really useful. And I'm going to have this Multifaker lined up for a trade. You know, when I got it, it was like $2. So I'm really going to get to steal off this. Then we got 2 copies of Threatening Roar. Oh, sorry. Moving on, these cards here don't fit into an archetype or just general good stuff. Threatening Roar, basically a stall card. Golden Stark, there's actually 2, and they're both secret rares, so, you know, that's really good, since I opened a whole bunch of hidden summoners. Beat Raptor, I've never seen anybody do anything interesting with it, but it seems like it'd be pretty good, because it special summons more from deck, and all of them lock your opponent out of the extra deck. With Blackout Curtain, not really seen that much of this. Gem Knight Ruby, which is actually a very old card that's important for the FTK of Gem Knights. Jormungandr, which was the official boss of the generators. Most generator decks don't play it because, you know, Calamity is such a better level rank 9 synchro, but whatever. Then we got a Time Thief, and I think there's something under this. We have a Zeraboros. Yeah, I forgot I put Zeraboros under this. I should probably put it in its own place. Then we have an interesting set of cards. We have 3 Thousand-Eyes Restricts. Let me see if I can pick them up so you can see all of them. Alright, so we got 1 Thousand-Eyes Restrict. That's actually a secret rare, and that's like $22, so that's definitely going to be a steal in the trades. And not to mention, Thousand-Eyes Restrict itself is a target for Instafusion, so it's really useful for any decks that use Instafusion or have ways to search it out. So yeah, we got 3 of those. The 2 others are rares. So oops, this is going really great. I did not expect that I would want to take these out, but I want to just show you that I have 3. Then we have some other cool stuff. Gungear, which is like $3 right now. Necros Gungear, of course. Then we got Cerulean Sacred Phoenix and Netfist from... There's some leftovers from secret hidden summoners out of my what is this called? Oh yeah, Netfist deck. You only run 2 of them, so I have another one for trade. Then we got Planet Pathfinder, which is good for decks that really want to get out their field spell. And then we got an interesting card here. This is an ultimate rare Neospatian Air Hummingbird. This card is right now $22, and it's crazy. It's like not even that good of a monster. The fusions that you get with it don't really synergize well, but Air Hummingbird, ultimate rare. I got it for $2 when I bought it. Now apparently it's 22, so cool. I'm not sure if I'll even find anybody that wants to trade this, or wants this. Maybe except some collectors that come. Then we got a normal Dino Sabersaurus, which is actually a secret rare, but it's still only about $1. And then Unexpected Die for, those normal monster decks. Then we got a collection of tokens here. I have a Kaiba token, and I also have a Yugi and Joey token. Then we got Red Reboot, which is a really good card for dealing with cards like Evenly Matched or, a whole bunch of those traps that are annoying to deal with. Then we got another Topple Epic Zero Boars. I'm stupid because I forgot that I had another one. So now the other one's under that Time Lord. Just general stuff. I don't know. Then we got Booster Dragon and Quad Boral Dragon. Then we got, interesting thing, I accidentally put this very last, but we got a True Draco engine. We got a Dragonic Diagram, 1 Ignis Heat, 3 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance, 3 copies of Heritage, 1 copy of Return, and another Red Reboot. Then we got Monster Gate as well, because that card's really good in decks like Infernoid. Then we got it in, finally, we got an entire Smorg archetype here, or engine. We got 1 Bird of Beginning, 2 Bird of Bringing, 3 Bird of Calamity, and 2 Bird of Protection. Now, basically, in case you don't know, all these special summon themselves from the hand, but also have effects that activate when they're normal summoned. So, that's pretty good. And it all focuses on summoning out either of these guys, which are the big birds. This guy, he contribute a winged beast monster to negate the activation of effect, and basically Lord of the Storm enables you to bounce a card back into the deck. Spin a card. Then we got an interesting card which actually came in the Rising Rampage set where Smorgs came from. That being the Cataclysmic Chronic Clodo. It's kind of interesting because it's like a hand trap that you get a special summon to your side of the field, and then you can spin a spell trap on the field back into the owner's top deck, so that's really good. Then we got 2 Onslaught, 1 Repulsion, which basically swipes away all of the spell traps by discarding a Winged Beast monster, and then Smorg Battle, which decreases levels, and as well if a Winged Beast monster is destroyed, it clears up the entire board. Then we got an interesting Zombie Horde engine here, which is I think the last card's in here. Yep. Doom King Battle Roach, Glow Up Bloom, Zombie Power Struggle, which is a cool quick play to increase or decrease zombies' attacks. Necroworld Banshee, which basically can banish itself in order to activate Zombie World. Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon, which is the synchro boss for the Zombie Horde. Return of the Zombies, which is actually a very underrated trap card for Zombie World, because it enables you to banish as cost from either field a zombie monster, and then special summon from that field's graveyard to the side of the field. So that's pretty good. 2 Haunted Shrine, and 1 Shiranui Spirit Master. That's it for the binder, but we still have to deal with, of course, the decks, and I will bring them to you right now. Alright, so these are the deck themes that I currently have in, all these boxes here. Let me just actually put these in front so that you can see what boxes they are. We have a Netfist True King deck, which is currently not very relevant because Diagram has been taken down to 1. Prank Kids deck, which is actually the most recent deck that I built and the one that I'm currently running. This is actually supposed to be a zombie deck. Let's see if, Zombie World deck, which focuses on Bale Roach and Synchros. And then, a partially saddened, very old Salad deck, which I don't run at all because, as you can see, I didn't even bother taking out Mirage because I don't play it anymore. And then we got a Rocket deck here, which has a couple of pieces missing, but overall kind of filled together. Now, in case you don't know, all these decks kind of focus specifically on either spam, negation, or a combination of both. True King is kind of like my setup for destruction board. Basically, Netfist monsters, let me see if I can find you an example. Netfist monsters focus on ritual monsters and destruction from the hand or field. And they basically gain additional effects for, like, special summoning themselves or adding cards from hand when they're sent to the graveyard by destruction by a card effect. But currently, the reason I'm not running it is because True Draco Diagram is at 1. And this deck kind of needs True King monsters, and True Draco Diagram was the only way that you could search out those things. So right now, it's kind of crippled. I'm not using it at all, so I haven't edited it at all. Then we got Salad, which is one of the few meta decks that I've actually built. Obviously, it focused specifically on spamming out monsters and just having a whole bunch of negates on board that are searchable. This is also the structure deck. So basically, what the Salad deck needs is 3 copies of the Soulburner structure deck, and you basically have an entire engine minus Sunlight Wolf. But it always focuses on traps and spells that gain effects depending on link monsters you control. And it focuses on relinking monsters by using the same link monster to summon out another link monster from the extra deck. And it gives and all your smaller monsters have effects that enable them to special summon themselves, or recur cards, or maybe get rid of some troublesome monsters your opponent controls. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but I stopped using it ever since I lost Mirage Stalio, since it's been banned. But, you know, I don't really like meta decks that much, to be honest. Then we have an interesting deck that I might try and rebuild. That is my Rocket deck. This, of course, came from 3 copies of the Rocket structure deck, minus a couple of other cards that I put in myself. This is one of the few decks that I actually built from scratch, and it focuses specifically on spamming out a whole bunch of monsters and just going to big link summons, and then targeting your monsters with the link monsters in order to destroy or, like, disrupt your opponent. So that's pretty good. But of course, a couple of things missing in this, so I don't really run it that often. The 2 decks that I do run that often are Zombie World, Synchro, and Prank Kids, in this Prank Kids deck. The Prank Kids is pretty self-explanatory. You basically focus specifically on summoning out Link and Fusion monsters, using their respective fusion spells and, like, Link assistance through their traps. And then you get out these big monsters like Battle Butler and Rip Roaring Roaster, if I can find it, that can destroy spells, can destroy all spells or all traps, can destroy all monsters in all back row, respectively. And the deck is just really fun to play. It's basically like a spam deck that is really good at disruption during your opponent's turn, since you're able to make Battle Butler and Rip Roaring Roaster during your opponent's turn, with the Quick Play Fusion and the Trap card, which helps you link summon that turn. And then finally we got Zombie World. Of course, this focuses specifically on synchro monsters. We have Omega, which is basically an honorary zombie. Then we got Necro Dragons, Crystal Wing, because I couldn't afford Clear Wing, Crystal. We got Clear Wing here, but I couldn't afford Crystal Wing. I would rather have Crystal Wing. Some Beezles, some rank 4 XCs, because sometimes I target my opponent's monsters to keep Unizombie at level 4, so I can make Doggerus the Timeless or Silent Honor Arc to get rid of monsters. The Link cards, Avenged Savior, Warlord, Barricade Board, because this deck lives and dies by the field spell. And basically, yeah, I would put in Zombie Sucker, and I might upgrade this from a simple, like, generic zombie deck to a vampire deck, but it really depends on what happens this summer. If the locals will open up by the time that I think they will. But that's about it. That's actually my entire collection. Hope you enjoyed this video. I might do some more stuff. You want me to do deck breakdowns breakdowns for things like the Zombie Worlds deck more in depth for like the new updates that I put in, or maybe you want to look at my Rocket deck, then make sure you tell me in the comments down below. And other than that, I guess I will see you next time. Bye bye.